Nichols here. I want to welcome you to the Wild Tribe Summit, where women, influencers, leaders, and dreamers connect and come together to create movement and to create change in the world. Today, I have a very amazing guest with us here, and I would love to introduce her as a woman who is a teacher, a women's activist, and a philanthropist. At age 13, she didn't like the way she was being treated at school for good reason. She was mistreated by a teacher and decided to leave and never come back. Instead, she created her own school where over 100 students are getting their beauty school degrees. They are getting master's degrees at no cost at all. She's not getting any support from the government or any funding at all. And the reason why I chose her was because I came across a quote where she said, "I am a leader because I educate and empower myself so that I can educate and empower other women to become leaders as well." I would love for you to welcome Sister Zeph.
Well, thank you very much for giving me such a beautiful opportunity to speak to your amazing audience today and to share my story. And I think by sharing my story, there will be more people who can join our movement, your movement and my movement, because both of us are working on the same goal. And the goal is to bring women on the mainstream where they can have their equal rights all over the world. I'm very excited.
I want to ask you, at age 13, here you are living in a country where women are suppressed. Women have to get permission from men to do pretty much anything. What was it inside of you that gave you the bravery and the boldness to step out and do this?
I think I believe it that I was born as a leader, and I was born to make a transformation in our society, and this was the goal of my life. That's why I was born on this planet. But when these difficulties came into my life, like I was 2.5 years old when my aunt uncle, my father's younger brother, he tried to kill me because my mother gave birth to a fourth daughter, and he believed that girls are a burden for the family. So while I was playing, he decided to kill me, and he tried it. But my father, luckily, my father came here and he saved my life. So this was the first experience. Then they started beating my mother so bad because she was giving birth to daughters. We are 4 sisters. So I was facing this violence since I was a very little girl, and it was creating a kind of frustration inside of me and a feeling that I have to make a change. And if I will not make a change, who will do it? So that all that violence that was gathering inside of me, it became a power in few years, a huge power that gave me an inspiration and power to take this step, because it was over for me. Now I did not want to bear it for me and for other children of my life, of my age. Yeah.
Wow, what a beautiful story that, even through the tragedy, because I talk about this a lot with when people are looking for their purpose, like sometimes it's the evidence is in what makes you angry, and to use that anger to create such a huge movement in your life is beautiful. To have such an empowering story from that tragedy is amazing. I love that you said, if not me, then who? What would you say to someone out there who has that feeling, who's in that place?
Actually, for me, the difficulties and the challenges, they come to bring a change in our lives, and they come to make us realize that how much difficulties we can bear in our lives. So challenges basically are blessings, because when a challenge come into your life, when you have to face violence, or when you have to face bad behavior from somebody, or you have to face those challenges where you think, I am alone and I don't find any way to get out of this. When you try to get out of this, you learn new things, you get more experiences, and that learning and experiences make you more mature, make you more empowered, and it also give you a feeling that those people who are going through the same situation, if I was suffering so much, I was having that pain, I should help them to get out of that pain and suffering by using that way what I have followed in my life. So I think if there are some people who are going to the same through the same situation, and of course there are millions of people, especially nowadays, where when we see that the difficulties from the for the minorities in many parts of the world are increasing. So people are going to the same situation what I have been facing for many years. They should use this challenge of their life as their power, and they should feel the pain of other people, and they should use their expertise and use the tools they know to reduce the pain of other people. And this is a very good way to bring peace in our world. For example, we have recently started a project where we are giving food to the children, because I realized that our children belong to very poor families, underprivileged families. They cannot afford to have meals 3 times a day. So they were unable to focus on their studies. We started giving them healthy food, full of nutrition. And in Pakistan, in many rural areas, what people do, because 96% of the population is Muslim, Christians are 1.6, in many 5%. So what they think, that some of the Muslims, they believe that we are superior and we should not eat from the Christians. And this is what we have been feeling, going through for many years as Christians. But now we are providing this food to our students, 200 students in our skill center. We have students, so they are eating from here. This we have broken this taboo, because Islam doesn't say to hate anybody. Islam is also a religion of peace and love. We just have to bring understanding between different religions. So this is how we are breaking these taboos.
You really hit the nail on the head with saying that, division, what I'm hearing from that is division is created from not understanding or feeling that we are separate from. And what I love about your movement and what you talk about is that we're all human beings, that women are empowered just as much as men, and there's no separation, that we all have the equal right. Something that you say is that you want to raise your voice so that the world can hear that only the educated women can change the world.
I was a very weak person. I was lonely. I have always been going through this feeling, because this is how our society treat the women who don't have a man in their life. Like, I was a little girl and I didn't have a brother. My father got sick and he would not go everywhere with me. I decided to not to get married, so I don't have a husband. So and that's why I don't have a son. And I have been going through this situation. If I would not be an educated woman, I would feel so alone, so neglected, and I would feel so powerless. Because in our society, those girls who have brothers and those women who have son and husband, they think that they are protected, because they don't know that women can also protect themselves, not only themselves, but to other women and children, like I'm doing. From where I got this understanding, when I got the education, I realized that education is very important for the girls of my society. So I started teaching them. I started teaching them, and then I started sharing their stories through blogs and writing in the news. So what I'm doing, I am telling the world about the problems they are facing inside the walls that people, the world don't know about. So what, with every passing day, as much education I'm getting, that much my voice is getting stronger, and I am speaking for all those women. See, if I alone, a single woman living in a small village of Pakistan, can change hundreds of lives, just imagine if there will be more women, if there will be hundreds of women well educated, empowered, and they know about their talents, and they know how to use their talents to bring change in the world. We can change the world, and we can bring equality in the world in just one generation.
So empowering and so beautiful. And I know that there was a time when you started your school and you went out door to door letting people know about free education for women. Can you tell us a little bit about what was that like, you know, as a woman, to just go door to door and be offering education when that's not really the cultural norm, right? And then also, what advice, I guess this is a twofold question. What advice do you have for a woman who's out there spearheading her own thing that is, she just has one, because you started out with just one student?
There have been challenges. Sometimes I have to continuously go to one family for years to convince them to send their daughter to the school. Because in my culture, child marriage is very common. And people think that if a girl is growing and she's a young girl, if she will go to her husband's home, she will be safe. And if she's at her parents' home, she's not safe. And she should get married as soon as possible. And it is very difficult to what is that break this taboo. And I what made me successful in this regard, these are two things. One is that I educated myself, and when I was educating myself, people started trusting me that if she can educate herself, she can educate our children also. And then they saw my success. They saw that without any support, I am growing and I'm not making any mistake. And because they think that the educated girls, they become so outspoken, and they start making decisions themselves. Our society is so afraid of these things. And I through my character, I made them realize that we can make progress and we can make changes without breaking the good cultural norms in our society. So this is how I became successful. And second is that I am never afraid of failure. Whenever I set a target for myself, I always keep in my mind that I have to fail many times, but I am not afraid of being fail. I have to try again and again and again, and I have to keep trying until the day I get my desired goal. I achieve my desired goal. So all those women who think that we are not getting success and it is getting late and we have used so much time and we have used so much sources and we are not achieving our goal, they should keep faith in themselves, and they should keep struggling, because their time will come, and I am its proof. Because I belong to a very small village of Pakistan. I belong to minority. I have no support of men. I did not have financial support for 14 years. I had to work 8 hours a day, 6 days a week to support my projects. I belong to an extremely poor family. I now I have a school where we are giving free education to 200 students. We have a skill center, as you told before. There we are teaching many skills to young women. And I have 4 Bible schools in for the Christian children in 4 villages. And our students belong to 15 villages. And we are working on climate change. We are teaching them skills so they can become empowered. We are teaching them English language, IT, and stitching, and beauty courses, and self-defense techniques, and art. So all these things we are doing, but I started from one student, and now I have 100 recent at this moment. I have 485 students who we are providing all these things free of charge.
Wow, that is amazing. I didn't realize you had over 400 students now. That's incredible. Gosh, what a movement you're making. It's
Yes, because maybe you saw a video that was made that is not updated on website, because it's been 8 or 9 months since I have started these Bible schools. But in our school we have 200 students.
wow. How did you find the bravery? I heard you say that you don't give up, because it seems like you have this wisdom about failure, that maybe you don't see failure as a bad thing, but more of like a learning lesson to improve what you're doing. So what advice would you have if someone is
Yes.
feeling, if they're afraid of failure?
The failure is basically a blessing, because every time we fail in something, it doesn't leave us as the same person like we were before. It will leave us as a different person who has learned something new and who is more passionate to achieve that goal. Always we have to keep this thing in our mind, that I have to do it. I'm not going to accept this failure. I will try it again. One more thing that I did in my life is that I never expect anything from people, because when we have expectations from people, they are people and people make mistakes. It will just leave us like heartbroken, or when our expectations will be broken. What we should believe in ourselves, and we should believe in God, because God is the supreme power. Everybody have some belief, so just believe on the supreme power that you believe, and that supreme power will lead you. And also believe in yourself, and when you know that you are doing something wrong, you will get success. I know I will achieve all my goals. I want to make a school in 8 acres, and people who know me, they know that I'm not a rich woman. Sometimes they make fun of me, and when they make fun of me, I take it as a positive energy inside of me, because I think that basically they are challenging me, and I should accept their challenge, and I should do hard work. I should do more effort, and then I will achieve my goal. Yes.
So it sounds like your faith in God has really helped move you and has helped drive you.
Yes. Some people who don't believe in Jesus, of course, they will not like this statement. If you, but I want to say that I believe in Jesus and I feel Jesus in me, because what does Bible says, that love the God from all your heart and all your wisdom and all your power, and then love your neighbor the way you love yourself. So when we start loving people around us as we love ourselves, the peace is there, all the conflicts will be gone, and the world will become so beautiful. So what I do, I always love people. I always put myself in their shoes, and I always feel like, I want to give you a small example. I have been doing job for 17 years to support my cause. So I would go to a telecom company, and I would work there 8 hours a day. And then in the evening I would come. And when in the evening I would come, I would be so hungry, because I did not eat lunch in the office. I always wanted to save money so that I can use on my projects, because there was no support from anywhere, and I was using my salary to project to use for these projects. And when I would come, even I would directly come to the school in the courtyard, and my students would be sitting there. And if my mother would offer me food, I would say, let me go to the school and see if a child is hungry. And by looking at their face, I would recognize that who is hungry, and I would bring them inside, and they would eat with me. But sometimes, if we would not have enough food in the home, I would never eat, because I would feel, if I will be eating and these children will be hungry, what will they be feeling? at that time when I will be eating in front of them, or they will just smell the food and I would not eat in front of them. I would keep hungry for next 4 more hours when I would be teaching them. So when we start feeling the difficulties and desires of other people, I think life becomes easier for everybody. So I believe in Jesus. I think I'm a true Christian because I know our God is alive and he can do anything. And my life is its proof because I am nothing. I was nothing. I'm a very common person. My parents are laborers. And today, more than 400 people are graduating from my home and they're getting free education and they're my future.
Amen, sister. I love it. That is amazing. I know we definitely share the same faith, and I do believe you are the hands and feet. That is incredible. You are such an amazing example for people out there who are, not only trying to build something bigger than themselves, but people who are out there really leading ministries and leading other people in their areas, however big or small.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. So actually, I want to ask you first, what's next for you? What's the next vision? What's the next movement?
There are small projects and big projects. Small project is I want to do more work on climate change, and for this, if you have seen on my page, we are making clothing bags by recycling the old clothes because we want our people to use clothes bags instead of plastic bags, because Pakistan is one of the main countries those are becoming reason of climate change because our people don't have awareness. So what we are doing, we are spreading awareness in the villages where people have no education and they don't know even about the term what is climate change. And second project we are going to work on is about good touch and bad touch, because in developing countries, I think more child abuse is increasing. And this is because people are more stressed, I think, and they have more restrictions on them. So there cannot be any excuse for child abuse. But we on the one side we have to find out the reasons of child abuse, and on the other side we have to educate our children and the mothers to protect the children. So this is my second project. Third, the project I'm working on is interfaith harmony, because this is also one of the big reasons of conflict in the world. And the biggest project is my dream school that I want to have in 8 acres. Yeah.
Beautiful. So how can someone who's feeling called to connect with you or support one or all of those visions, how can they get a hold of you, and how can they help support your vision and your mission?
Thank you very much for asking me this question. We have no support by the government of Pakistan, and we have no support by any individual from Pakistan. These are few friends of mine. God bless America, because most of them are Americans, and from New Zealand and from other countries who are sending us the donations. We need $3,000 a month, but we have monthly donations $900. To run all these projects, I would request all the listeners to visit our website, zephniaeducation.org, or Google me by typing Sister Zeph, Zeph, on Google, and they will find all the information about me. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, we are everywhere. And they can become monthly subscribers. They can donate us $5, $10, $20. And if God is putting in their hearts to donate us more, we need their support. We need your support, everybody who is watching me and who is listening me, because there are hundreds of lives who need the transformation. We have to save our planet. We have to save our girls. We have to save our children. And although I have devoted my life for this cause and I have decided never to get married, but this is not enough. I need your financial support. I need your moral support. I request you to spread my story with your friends and your colleagues, and also join us as monthly subscribers if you can. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It has been such an honor and such a pleasure to speak with you. And your heart is so beautiful. Your cause, your movement, everything you're doing is, you've done more than most people do in their lifetime at a young age. I am just have been so blessed to be able to talk with you. And I do encourage any of the listeners who are watching this to, if you feel that nudge, if you feel that call, reach out and support what this woman is doing, because she is changing the world. She is changing the world one woman at a time, one awareness at a time. That is huge. So thank you so much for joining us from Pakistan. It has been such an amazing honor, and I will put your website below too, so that the women can connect with you and get to know you as well.
Thank you very much. It was a great honor to talk to you. And I can see through your eyes your kind and very caring heart. It is so much visible through your eyes. God bless you, and thank you very much again.
Thank you, Sister Zeph.